Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream for today. We are in South America. We are going from Mariscal Sucre to Valencia. Here, just at the larger part of South America here, just at the top, basically. It's about a 2-hour flight, probably about 2.5 or so total flight time, I'm guessing. But anyway, we're going to get in here and get set up. Hopefully everybody's having a good Thursday. First Thursday of December. Yay. Can't believe we're already in December. So let's we'll get in here, get the plane set up, push back, and we'll be on our way. Apologize for the slight delay this morning. Got a little sidetracked and then realized the time, and I was like, oh, I gotta get the flight plan put together and put in the system so we can go flying. We'll leave the live weather on as well for this one. Should make for a nice flight. So let's make sure we don't want him talking to ATC just yet. Oops. Alright, get everything started up here.
Ground LATAM Golf 2377 IFR to Valencia, ready to copy.
LATAM Golf 2377 is cleared to Valencia Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.9 squawk 2005.
LATAM Golf 2377 cleared to Valencia Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure on 119.9 squawk 2005.
LATAM Golf 2377 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.725. Good day.
Alright, let's go taxi IFR, and then we'll get everything else set up here in a moment.
2377 with Echo ready to taxi IFR.
In fact, we'll go ahead and put
LATAM
on our
Golf
lights.
2377 taxi to and hold short of runway 18 via taxiway Juliet Alpha. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 18 using taxiway Juliet Alpha LATAM Golf 2377.
Okay. Alright, let's look at see, they don't have our, this is the one thing that this does not have, this system, is like our alright. I'm just going to go ahead and put 210. So that's already set. And alright, services, pushback.
Ground LATAM Golf 2377 requesting pushback.
LATAM Golf 2377 pushback request accepted.
Go to the left. This is going to be kind of quiet in the chat today. It's all right.
Ground LATAM Golf 2377 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
LATAM Golf 2377, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Ground LATAM Golf 2377 requesting pushback tug to push the aircraft straight.
LATAM Golf 2377, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Ground
Stop
LATAM
here.
Golf 2377 requesting the end of pushback.
LATAM Golf 2377, request to end pushback received.
Okay. Clearance. Right. I think we are all set. Cruise on down the runway here and turn around, and that's our takeoff, and we're heading that way. Somebody's watching, hasn't said hello yet. Hello to my one viewer over on YouTube. Got a little bit of fog over the runway there. Make for an interesting takeoff.
Kilo Tower LATAM Golf 2377 ready for IFR departure runway 18.
LATAM Golf 2377 altimeter 30.29er wind 174 at 5. Cleared for takeoff runway 18.
Cleared for takeoff runway 18 LATAM Golf 2377.
LATAM Golf 2377, contact Guayaquil Center on 119er decimal niner. Good day.
1000.
Going to 119er decimal 9er LATAM Golf 2377. Guayaquil Center LATAM Golf 2377 is at 9,400 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
LATAM Golf 2377, Guayaquil Center altimeter 30.29er, continue to Quebec Sierra Victor as planned. LATAM Golf 2377, climb and maintain flight level 180.
Climb and maintain flight level 180 LATAM Golf 2377.
2,500.
Overspeed, 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 overspeed.
Yes, it is, Mick. Sorry about that. I think I hit it when I was taking off by accident. Anyway, well, thank you all for coming in. Good morning. Good morning, Mick. How are you? Hopefully you're feeling better than you were the other day. Ooh, a little bumpy here. Might get a little turbulence coming over through the mountains here.
Millennium Golf 2377, climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 270 LATAM Golf 2377.
Alright, let's go ahead and get this to standard. Ooh, yeah, look at that. We are getting all kinds of bump. I would imagine this would be a pretty bumpy ride in real life. Now this was kind of a trip that I planned kind of out of the blue. Been wanting to fly a bit in South America. We haven't really done it, or we haven't done it on a stream at all. So figured this would be a nice change of pace, somewhere a little bit different. So here we are. Tomorrow, Stockholm to Warsaw. Then we're going to Spitfire Saturday. Fairford to RAF Fairford to Land's End, and then we're taking the Eurofighter through the Mach Loop, and then Sunday we are flying around Yosemite. We'll do flying around Yosemite after our flight or farm sim. I'm still feeling rough, not as bad as before, but slow. And we had a dusting of snow. We haven't had one since a day or two ago, but it's a little bit warmer today. We're almost going to be almost in the 50s today, surprisingly. Yeah, we're... Wow, look at that. Kind of looks like a volcano, almost. The way it's shaped, the way the land kind of flows off the top there. Some really interesting scenery. Good morning, Captain Matty. So yeah, we're it might be okay today. It's still cold this morning, but not. It's well, let me look, because I think it said already we were in the 40s, so it may not have gotten too cold last night. It says it's about 31 degrees here, so it's supposed to warm up a bit later on. Let's have a look ahead. Just try to look out just a bit here. So we're going to have a couple of tracks here. MER's coming up, of course. That's the one way up ahead of us there. That marker right there. And then I'm going to fly along. Okay, Captain Matty. And then we're going to just keep making our way towards yeah, or towards Valencia. Not Valencia, Spain, mind you, but just the name Valencia here in South America. We'll just kind of continue on here. Probably here shortly we'll get the go ahead to go to 370 and cruise along. Some very nice scenery here. Something a little bit different. Now what I may do is just double check the length of the... Ooh, boy. Ooh, little bump, little bump, little bump. Wow, look at that. Woo-wee. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wow. We lost some airspeed there. We got to get up. Ooh, boy, look at this. It is all over the place. I think we're going to have a failure here at a moment. Look at that. Wow. That plane was all over the
Millennium
place.
Golf 2377, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Wow. This is crazy.
Climb and maintain flight level 370 LATAM Golf 2377.
Look at that. We're losing, we've lost a lot of airspeed. It throttled, even though the throttle's up, we are not. Wow. This is insane. Yeah, I did, Maddie. I'm trying to, I'm sorry. Good morning, Ethan. Yeah, I see you're flying. That's good. So, yeah, I do see it. I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing here. My plane is all over the place right now, so I'm trying to keep an eye on things here. I do apologize. Wow, it is not. Look at that. It's in the red. Oh boy, this is interesting. Yeah, I'd like to, trust me. Wow, this is going to be interesting. We're losing altitude now. Yeah, good morning, Mella. Yep, turbulence. And we are decreasing our altitude instead of going up. I don't know why. I think to kind of get some speed back in the engines maybe, or get some airspeed, and then we'll start climbing. Yep, okay, it's coming back to normal.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 370.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Millennium Golf 2377, contact Bogota Center on 128.6. Good day.
All right, it's starting to go back.
Going to 128.6
We're starting to climb back
LATAM
up
Golf
here.
2377.
Nope. All right, we're
Bogota
gonna have to
Center
go.
LATAM Golf 2377 is passing flight level 255, climbing flight level 370.
LATAM Golf
We're gonna tell it to go.
2377, Bogota Center, continue to Mike Echo Romeo as planned.
All right. Okay. Mike Echo Romeo. Yeah, it's the one in front of us there still. All right, we're back towards going towards. It's slowly making its way. Yes, we are. That's what it says, Ethan. We are going to Valencia. That's why I've been putting the information in there so that you all can read it. Try to provide as much information as possible. Dome lights on. All right, I think we're making our way there now. Kind of got our speed back, but boy, the engines, the down in here was all red. Like we had lost compression, I think. Let's see. Yeah, these were both in the red. Don't know what that would mean, but boy, that was... Now that one's... Oh, that just shot up to the red there for a second. See, now the engines are going again. Wow, look at that. We are really having a doozy of a time climbing. Like, the engines are just not functioning today. There it goes again. It goes in the red. Wow. That is insane. This is really strange. I've never seen this before. Thank you, Ethan. Okay, Cap Maddie. Have a good flight. Wow, we are really having a tough time climbing up to 370. It's like the plane is not.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 370.
Yeah, I would like to there, buddy. Trust me. I just don't know that the engines can do it. Wow, this is interesting. Well, I wonder if we're going to have to turn off the live weather and just make sure you turn on the wings anti-ice as well. I don't think that that's the issue, because I don't have the ice thing on. But it seems like the turbulence that we are encountering is really messing with the engines. Like, we've lost compression a couple times, it feels like. See, there it goes again. Like, there's a sudden wind gust and it just throws the engines off. See, there it goes again. Yep, there's this. The wind shears are really bad. Look at that. See, then it throttles back. Yeah, I cannot. Ooh, boy, the weather is really. Wow, this is insane. Yeah, the wind shears are so bad, it seems that right now that I'm losing pressure in the engines, and I cannot climb. It's like I start to climb and then it just kind of wow, this is insane. See, there it goes again, right there. Look at that. Wow. This is strange. I have never seen this before. And we're losing altitude again. All right, I think just yeah, I cannot get above 260. We just keep having this the engines just kind of like completely, you know, kind of just they're failing. We can't get above our yeah, see, now look at, we're losing altitude again. This is really weird. And I don't have like failures on, so... But with the weather, it's just that the wind is affecting our engine. So we go down in altitude. Yeah, trust me, I would like to get above this. Yeah. I get it, dude. You're starting to annoy me. Shut up. How am I going to get above this stuff? I think even if I flew it manually, I don't know that I would be able to do it any better.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 370.
Let's see if we can get above. It's like we're slowly climbing, but not in a meaningful way. Like we're not rising above whatever's happening to get some clean air so that we can continue on and Alright, now we're starting a little bit more of a positive climb. Let's see what happens when we get to 260. Close to 260, 270, and see if we can finally punch through that and get higher and hopefully get some cleaner air. It's interesting that I would think we would have a bit of a tailwind, which would have helped us move along a little bit quicker. But it seems like we were just hitting these huge gusts of wind, especially over these mountains. See, there it goes again. Every time we get close to 270, it's like bam, we just get hit with a gush of air. It throws the engines off, and we go right back to where we were. We cannot seem to get past these wind shears, I guess. It's just like it's always throwing the plane off. That is just insane. Look at that. Wow. Alright, so we... Oops, see, it goes back down. And then we're going to drop altitude again, and it's like I'm going to have to start from scratch all over again to try to get this plane to continue to climb. Man, this is insane. Like, I don't know if we're going to ever find any kind of clean air so we can just climb above this stuff. I think even if we're manually, it's not gonna. I can't get the engines are just not functioning very well right now for whatever reason. I don't know. I'd hate to think this is a bug.
Your climb flight level 370.
Yeah, see, I can't. It is just not cooperating. Oh boy, this is a doozy. I don't think I've ever experienced this at all. There it goes again. It's like there's just this crazy wall of wind that I keep running into, and it keeps throwing the engines off. And if this guy doesn't shut the hell up, I swear to God, I'm gonna mute his ass. Yep, see, every time it's like it gets close. I'm getting closer to 27, you know, just even to get to 270 seems to be a just insane attempt at this point. Like, it will not punch above. Man, I've never seen this before. I really don't know what to do other than turn the live weather off. I feel like if I don't, at some point the engines we're just going to nose over and crash. See? Yeah, it cannot. Man.
Millennium Golf 2377, your climb flight level 370.
But I feel like if I turn off the live weather, it's like we're going to be missing an experience and trying to figure out how to get through this.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 370.
Dude, you're killing me here. I would love to be at 370 and get above this crap, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Not unless for somehow, some way we get over. It's like the wind is coming up out of these mountains here and just like throwing us around like a rag doll. Like the engines are just so unstable right now. Look at that. All right, I'm going to turn off the weather. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I think for posterity, we're going to have to turn off the weather. This is ridiculous. Let's see if we can get going here. Yeah, we're just going to have to do it that way. Okay, Amela, how are you? Welcome back. Hopefully you're having a good Thursday. Oh, man. No, we're just going to have to do it this way. I really wanted to fly with the live weather just to see, but this is... Nope. Not going to happen. Alright, at least now we're finally climbing up. Let's see what happens when we get closer to... well, the plane has just been so erratic. Like the wind shears have caused, like the engines were just like losing compression suddenly, and then it would get back up. But we were struggling to climb past 270. So I've turned off the weather and to try. Hopefully, we're going to get above this and try to have a smooth flight rest of the way. We still got 719 nautical miles to go, but this has just been insane. I've never seen this before, like, you know, when we've been flying with the live weather, but it, you know, part of it is I've never flown here before, so I didn't quite know what to expect. I just thought it would be a nice flight over some nice scenery, but the wind coming out of these mountains is just... I mean, I would think that most pilots, they would have had a way to deviate from the flight plan and maybe find another path, you know, but we don't have that option, I don't think, you know, or I don't have the knowledge of how to engage such a change that we can get, you know, over to here somewhere where it's maybe a little bit flatter and we can get some altitude and get above all this stuff and then get back on track. So yeah, we've really struggled this flight to get going, you know, like get to our cruise altitude of 370. So yeah, you know, we're okay. We finally punched through that. So I think with the live weather off, we're finally on our way. So yeah, but yeah, I did not expect this. I thought, you know, we'd have maybe a little bit of turbulence over the mountains, but not to the point that our engines have been affected so badly that we're losing our you know, our ability to climb above everything. So yeah. So in situations like this, folks, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's very hard for me to try to figure out like some solutions possibly to what's going on. So if I miss anything in the chat, I apologize. You know, I can't read everything out. You know, I try to acknowledge things as quickly as I can, but in situations like that, I am not going to always you know, acknowledge your posts in the chat. So please do not take it personally. I'm not trying to be mean-spirited or anything, but, you know, I'm trying to... Part of this is a learning process for me, that when we encounter these sorts of things, what can we do to fix the problem? And the solutions don't seem very evident here. Okay, so do not think that I'm not ignoring you. I'm not trying to be mean-spirited on purpose or whatever, but just please understand, in certain aspects of when I'm streaming, I can't always acknowledge you, you know, in the way that you may desire. So we're just going to put that out there. Anyway, so we're on our way now. I think we're finally getting above everything. We're finally getting there. So that's a good, positive situation, I think, now. may not be as fast as we'd like to, and certainly probably not as fast as the ATC would like, but we're getting there. So as long as we keep moving upward and forward, then I think we're going to be okay. But yeah, if I as much as I'd like to, you know, I want to be able to fly with live weather, you know, I can't always do that because there seems to be situations that are affecting the flight dynamic in a way that we don't have, I don't think, the ability to. I mean, I could have tried to fly it manually, but I don't think I would have had much luck either that way. I think, you know, the plane would have eventually, we would have had a shutdown, because I don't think I would have been able to maintain a reasonable amount of climb where we could get above it and the engines kind of settle down. So, but now I think we're on our way. Yeah, it was just like we were hitting that wall of air at 270. We could not just punch through it. And I would envision at that point the pilots would have talked to whoever and said, "Hey, we got to get around this somehow. Can you give us a different route to try to get so that we could get above all this?" So, oh well. But see, even now, I mean, we're making that slow climb, but even here we're struggling to get to 250. You know, maintain, you know, at least a decent level of airspeed. But I mean, we're still climbing, but it's like a slow crawl to 370. But if we can make it up there, I think we might be okay for the rest of the flight. Oh, I think we will be. Well, this is what happens, I guess, when you fly in places that you don't really know, aren't familiar with. The weather may surprise you in ways you did not expect. Well, it's still certainly some really beautiful scenery from here. That's for sure. Oh, that kind of looks not good. Like it's missing some information here. I guess that's to be expected. There's some gaps in the data. Okay. Anyway. I think the worst is behind us now. Hopefully, knock on wood. But look at that, we still are bleeding airspeed. That's just amazing. I think ATC finally gave up. Well, at least now we don't have to worry about hearing that. We're still making our way, so that's good. Well. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. I think so, Mela. He was here. He may be over on Twitch. I don't really know. He's not saying much, I think, or he's not typing much because of the pain. So I can't really say for sure. But I think so. He might be here too. I don't know. I know last night when in Pulse's stream, they didn't do the killing floor thing last night. Pulse picked up on continued his playing the whole God of War series in chronological order, not the order that they were released, but in the chronological order of the character. He was in and out of the chat, but it was very difficult for him to type last night. So I think that's still the case. So I think he's just kind of taking it easy. So. Here there's 350. This would be one of those flights, I think, even though it's a long flight, there would not be any movement around the cabin. No, you're going to stay in your seats and, yeah. Certainly over in the earlier part where the plane was getting thrown around so much. Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine that in real life. That would have, I think people would have been getting sick easily on that flight. Yeah, look at that, we're still losing airspeed. Well, learning experience for flying in South America, that's for sure. Even with the weather off, we are really struggling to get to with the airspeed. We just keep dropping. Look at that. Alright, we're getting there. We're almost at 370. So we should start to level off here. My biggest concern, though, is the airspeed. Even though we're getting close to leveling off, we're the engines are not kind of getting the power back on. Even though it's at 88% throttle on both sides, it's like it's not. The engines are really struggling to maintain. We're getting there. Well, this has been one heck of a flight so far. This is going to take a while to get there, that's for sure. Right now we're finally getting some speed. All right, let's swap this over to Mach. Let's go 7.5. Try to take a little pressure off the engines here if we can. We're finally at our cruising altitude, so okay. Yeah, this is interesting that there's no, I would think we would have a tailwind, but it seems like we have either really strong, had being the keyword, had really strong crosswinds, or we were hitting a wall of air coming right at us. You know, like we had a strong headwind that we were flying into. Okay, things have finally settled down, I think. Alright, let's look at our... We're on our way to Akrab, Avda, Mexig, Izrod, and SVVA2. So, there's not a lot of waypoints, it seems like, on this flight plan. If we go all the way out to 320 nautical miles looking. Some of these are in the system, but not all of them. Oh, well, maybe, hold on, let me look at excuse me, where's the next page? Oh, excuse me. There's the initialization. Okay. So that seems to be... Well, it's not giving us the next page there. Alright, well... Oh, that was the temperature. So even though I had the de-ice on, it was like that wasn't working either. Very strange. Alright, well, we're finally on our way. Probably should have shut the weather off a lot earlier. I thought maybe we would have gotten through all that, but apparently not. So let's keep that back down to 10. So there is, you know, some differences in how we get information, you know, compared to the Boeing systems. The what we get in here in the MCDU is different than what information we are able to kind of gather from the one here in the A320. I would have thought that they would have been somewhat similar, but I guess just the way that the planes are designed, the avionics developers have, you know, run their software differently depending on what the, I guess, the make and model of the plane is. You know, whether it's an Airbus plane or a Boeing, for, you know, they kind of just have, and I would think even for any other jetliner aircraft, it's all depending on who's the manufacturer and what their design parameters are and what sort of avionics software that they're looking for and how they want to convey information maybe to the pilots or the flight crew. But I have to look, because I think there's a way to gather more information from here, but it may be also that this is a very rudimentary A320, very basic. So it, you know, like we're able to fly, we're able to do things in here that, you know, we're not looking for more information like we are in the Boeing aircraft, like the 747 and all that. So so yeah, just some different things. Now that doesn't mean that there's more. You know, there are other. I don't know if anybody else is coming out with it. You know, a little bit more of an advanced A320 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and especially for the Xbox. But yeah, I have to see if there's like more, we can gather more information so that we can, when we're, you know, like what we did the other day with the 747, we go to the initialization page and we get all that, you know, your takeoff speeds and your, and all that. This seems to be kind of a more, you know, easier to fly jetliner, I guess, in a way. That a little bit of light there, just in case. Right, I think now we can We can let people move about the cabin. Probably go to the restroom on board, clean themselves up after that. After certainly like that flight when I flew from Newark to Syracuse. That poor woman. I'll never forget that. Oh, I felt bad for her. And luckily, I didn't hear her get sick. But she told me, "Oh, you can go ahead." I said, "No, ma'am. Go right ahead. You can go before me." You know, she needed to get to the restroom there in the airport and kind of get herself collected up and all that. So, yeah, that was, I felt bad for her. She was so miserable. There will be, we're going to try to change things up. I may change the flight tomorrow from I'm going to look at it. We may go with something different than the A320 tomorrow. We may try the 737 MAX. I've got to review the startup procedure and all that because it's a bit, the way that Bredek, who developed the plane, the startup procedure for the Xbox version is a little bit different than the one in for the PC version. I'm gonna have to write down the startup procedure in the order that they show it on their video, so that we can do that properly and then taxi out to the runway. I kind of like doing that versus starting on the runway because it I think it adds a bit more sense of realism to the flight and what we're doing. So I like to continue to try to do that, and plus it gives people time. Like, you're not really missing anything when I'm taxiing. I'm just basically driving around the airport, for lack of a better term. So it does give everybody a chance to kind of get in and join the stream as I'm taxiing out to the gate. So, things don't really start to kind of start really happening until once we're off the ground and on our way. So I may try the 737 MAX for tomorrow, just because this is like very reliable. We don't really have to kind of worry about much. So it's, in some senses, it's kind of easy to figure out what to do, except for what we were dealing with earlier. There was no way I could have figured out, I don't have the flying knowledge to deal with what was happening, other than turn off the live weather. That seemed to be the only logical choice of actions. So, yeah, we may try the 737 MAX tomorrow. I don't want to keep going back to things that we are always familiar with, even though it's easy because it's comfortable. But I want to, try to build upon what we know and what we're able to fly, and kind of expand our capabilities, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it's good that we have we have this, and we know we can basically fly this with very minimal problems. Some of which sometimes are self-created, and other times, like with the weather, those wind shears were just, I couldn't. I don't know what else I could have done differently to maintain the live weather and all that kind of stuff. And so, and another thing too, I think part of it is flying in places that we haven't flown before. There's things that happen that we don't, there are procedures, and some things are a little bit different compared to other places we've flown. So I need to go back and kind of look at some information and say, okay, did I contribute to any of the things that we encountered? What could I have done differently? So that way it's a learning process, and then we continue to try to kind of move forward with it and build upon our knowledge base, I guess. There's some fundamentals that we've learned since I started flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but there, in different parts of the world, when you fly, there's different procedures, different rules, different just different things in general that we've not really had to deal with before. And certainly the weather contributes to part of that. So I'm going to review some things after we're done streaming to kind of just get a better idea of, what are the rules for flying in South America kind of thing. Not so much with just, like a prop plane going from one grass field to another and you're not going up very high, but, especially with the airliner rules, I guess, what are the standards, when do you do certain things, and, that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of keep building on that knowledge base. And of course, the answers aren't always going to come easy. So that's part of it as well. This is the easy part. The plane's kind of on its way. I don't have the controller in my hand even, other than just pressing the button every once in a while to make sure the controller doesn't power down suddenly because it's gone. It figures nothing's really happening, so it just shuts down on its own. But other than that, we're kind of in that nice. We're in the cruise mode now, and I can sit back here in the recliner and chat. So kind of think about what we just experienced and what can we learn from it. Okay, take care, Mella. Have a good day. Be safe. I'll catch you later. I've got 486 nautical miles, so we still got quite a bit to go, Maddie. I can't tell you for sure how long, but we're probably another hour, maybe 2 hours, I don't know. But we got 485 nautical miles, so we still got some time to go. The markers, the waypoints in front of us, there's like some decent distance between them. So like we're on our way to Akrib now, and then we have Mavda, Mexig and Izrod, and then we should start from Izrod. We should start our descent into Valencia. So yeah, I can't. When I made the flight plan, it said the flight was about 2.5 hours. That may be true. It's probably going to be closer to 3 hours, but I can't say for sure because the what they give us when I build the flight plan in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the time isn't always very accurate from point to point. Sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's longer. So I can only kind of estimate based on experiences now. So I'm guessing at least maybe 2 more hours, maybe less. I don't know. All right, Maddie. Well, I am guesstimating because in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the timing isn't always like spot on. So I can estimate. That's the best I can tell you. So I found that Microsoft Flight Simulator is not, especially when we've been flying longer distances, the time that it says is not like anywhere near accurate. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it just doesn't feel like it is. Pan Am, Maddie, I think we talked about this before. I think. If not, I completely apologize, but yeah, Pan Am. Right. Let's see. Let's have a look outside here and check the really beautiful scenery, though. I'll say that. You know, despite what was happening earlier, this is some really interesting scenery here. Name Dalan. Very nice. Roberto. There is Camargo. So probably a small airport there. Between that one and there's one like right back there, Tunja. That would be an interesting flight from there, come through here, land there. Like I'm sure there's like small yeah, it looks like maybe a small airport, like a grass field, perhaps. You know, something like a Cessna 208 would fly between the two. Maybe like a, you know, short freighter service with passenger. You know, Maybe like bringing mail or something. Yeah, I figured as much, Maddie. Interesting that the contrails are not, normally when we're flying we have that kind of like constant contrail. Here it's like it's sporadic. It's there, then it's not, then it's there. So the reason why, I just thought about this, the reason why we don't have anything after, oh, there is stuff after. We don't have like an arrival flight plan, or part of the flight plan, because it's a direct arrival into the approach phase for Valencia. That's just, I don't know why that is, but I kind of feel like, let's look at this. Oops. All right. So if you notice from Eloise beyond, we don't have, like, we go past Isrod at 370, and then Eloise is at basically flight level 350, and then everything else after that has nothing showing for like an altitude. So what we're gonna do after we get to once we get a little bit closer, or we get past Isrod, we're going to start descending. We're not going to go to 350. We're going to go to 270, 170, 10,000. And then we should be, by the time we get to 10,000 feet, we should be at we should be kind of prepared for our approach into Valencia. All right, let me take care of you. Locked. Port. Anyway, so yeah, well, I think by 10,000 feet, we should be on our way to being well prepared for our arrival into Valencia. About an hour and a half now. Of course, that's not our flight time. Our flight time is about an hour 40, I guess. So that's not too far off the amount of stream time, but yeah, there we go. Wow, look at these mountains. It's interesting, there's like this mountain range, and I don't know what mountain range this would be, but look at that, and then there's this like this huge, like this sprawling flat area past this mountain range. There's Isbrod right there in front of us. So we'll start doing our nice planned descent into Valencia. Get ourselves ready for a nice landing. Actually, we can go to 350. It's not a huge drop, but we can at least start bleeding off a little bit of altitude.
Bogota Center, LATAM Golf 2377. Request flight level 350.
LATAM Golf 2377, descend and maintain flight level 350.
Descend and maintain flight level 350, LATAM Golf 2377.
At least we'll be in good shape for the Okay, so really quick, I just looked in the forums, and apparently there's a problem with the live weather. Yeah, people are saying that there's a problem that they are experiencing. Engines go idle and autopilot disengages. Non-responsive to throttle, aircraft tumbles from the sky, use live weather at 40,000 feet. So yeah, there is yeah, there seems to be a problem with the live weather right now. There seems to be a bug or something is happening. So it's nothing we did, which now we kind of have an answer. Based on other pilots already today are experiencing. So yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better that it wasn't anything that we did that might have contributed to the problem. So okay, good, that's good news. Tomorrow, Maddie, same time tomorrow, my usual time, 6:30 East Coast time, flying from Stockholm to Warsaw. There you go. And if you forget, I can assure you that before we stop the stream, I reiterate it. You know, once we kind of take off and things are going okay, we talk about what's coming up. And then generally before I wrap things up, I will reiterate it again if you did not hear it. So, but generally, unless something's, you know, I change times based on if there's something I'm doing that I need to start later or earlier, I always try to express that in the stream before we wrap it up. So. Otherwise, 6:30 East Coast time daily, which I believe is 11:30 your time, or yeah, 11:30. So there you go. But if I'm not streaming, I will remind you the day prior that, you know, the next day I'm not streaming for various reasons. So, or well, you won't know the whole reason, but I'll just say I'm not streaming the next day. You'll see me on another day or whatever.
Let AM Golf 2377 contact Makishia Center on 124.0. Good day.
124.0 Lat Am Golf 2377. Makishia Center Lat Am Golf 2377 flight level 350.
Let AM Golf 2377 Makishia Center continue to ELOYS as planned.
So yeah, at least that gives us an answer about the weather. There is a problem, it seems, and I'm guessing that Microsoft or Sobo or somebody's going to have to look into the what's happening. right, we're a little bit closer here. I'm going to go to 330.
Maisha Center, LATAM Golf 2377. Request flight level 330.
LATAM Golf 2377, descend and maintain flight level 330.
Descend and maintain flight level 330, LATAM Golf 2377.
Go to take it out of Mach and go to 250 knots. Let's go to 30,000 or 300 or 300.
Maisha Center, LATAM Golf 2377. Request flight level 300.
LATAM Golf 2377, descend and maintain flight level 300.
Descend and maintain flight level 300, LATAM Golf 2377.
Okay. Let's have a looky here. Let's look at our zoom out a little bit. All right. So from here, there's all this distance before we get to Adamu. So we'll continue our descent. You know, we'll start bleeding off some more altitude here shortly. Once we get past ELOYS. Turn all this off. I don't think that was going to make much of a difference, because there just seems to be another whole other issue in the flight sim going on right now. But it's good to know that it's not an issue that we have done anything wrong or that contributed to the issue with the weather, the wind shears that we were experiencing. So be curious to see what the okay, Captain Maddie, that's good. Alright, let's see here. bit closer. I think what I'm going to do from here is I want to just go ahead and slow down to 230. Alright, so we are on our way to Venezuela, I believe. No, that can't be right, is it? Hold on a second. That is in... Yeah, that is in Venezuela. Oh, okay. So, alright. So we went from Bogota, Colombia to... We're basically in Colombia to Venezuela.
Maisha Center, LATAM Golf 2377. Request flight level 200.
LATAM Golf 2377, descend and maintain flight level 200.
Descend and maintain flight level 200, LATAM Golf 2377.
Yes, Maddie, I acknowledged it. I don't know if I'm not speaking loud enough for you, but I said, it says you got your good pilot license. I said that's very good. Maybe I'm not being very clear. I don't know. I'm sorry. But yes, I did see it. I did acknowledge it. Okay? we're on our way to 200. We don't have to worry about changing our altimeter readings since we turned off the weather. Otherwise, we normally would be making sure we change it back to the updated altimeters once we came out of our higher altitudes there. So we can kind of cruise here for a little. Once we get to 200, we can cruise here just a little bit, and then we'll descend further to 10,000 feet and be ready to take our direction basically from ATC and get lined up for our landing. Just out of curiosity, let's have a look at the forums again and see if about the weather. There it is. Let's see. Alright. Posted in the forums about the weather. It's most of the people posted so far have been in the on the PC side of things, but we don't have to let's get this back to where it should be. All right, there we go. I think we can go ahead and request 15,000 feet. So we'll just have a nice stepped descent.
Maisha Center, LATAM Golf 2377. Request 15,000 feet.
LATAM Golf 2377, descend and maintain 15,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 15,000 feet, LATAM Golf 2377.
We should have a nice approach off the coast there of Valencia. So don't. Well, we may have some coastal mountains, but I don't think they're super high. We'll find out when we get closer. I think we're going to be okay, though. Alright, let's go to 210 once we level off at 15,000. Interestingly enough, it says that airport is at 14,000 feet. Interesting. I think if we stay right here, we should be okay for the rest of the flight. Let's see what happens when we get a little bit closer. A lot of small airports here in Venezuela. Looks like. I'm guessing this is Venezuela.
Millennium Golf 2377, you are 905 miles southwest. Climb and maintain flight level 290. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 28 approach by Anima transition. Cleared to Anima.
RNAV should be
Climb and
ILS.
maintain flight
Okay.
level 290. Expect RNAV
Why
Yankee
would I
runway
go all the
28
way to
approach via Anima
29,000
transition. Cleared
feet?
to Anima LATAM Golf
Unless
2377.
I think we're okay where we are. No, I'm not going to go all the way up to 290.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290.
All right. I think we're fine where we are. If it's saying that the marker there is at 5,700 feet, I think we're okay where we are. I don't see anything, any kind of major super high peaks that we would need to go up and over and then back down again. So I think we're just going to stick right here where we are.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290.
This is one of those things that seems to be an ongoing problem with the flight sim, that we're in this portion of the flight and it decides that we have to go way up high and then back down. So I think we're fine where we're at. We're just going to stay right here. I know the ATC is going to get a little annoying, and I apologize about that, but this is one of those situations where I feel like this has been an ongoing problem, it seems, and I don't know why.
2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290.
It's weird because recently we've had a nice smooth transition. It may just be because we don't. I think if we have a direct approach, this is what causes the problem, because there's no information for that we have that gradual descent, and so ATC seems to think you got to go way back up and then way back down. So we're gonna stick with this, I think. And as we get a little bit closer, we're gonna start. Well, I don't know at what point it's going to basically.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290.
I kind of feel like at some point it's gonna finally give us our some like descent altitudes, and then we should be set up for our approach. So it's just it's almost like a waiting game with the air traffic control. Wow, 2 airports named Las Vegas Airport. That's interesting.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290. Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290.
Alright, we'll continue to slow down here. To San Carlos airports.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290.
I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. I do appreciate the 6 likes. Hopefully you found this stream entertaining.
Millennium Golf 2377, please expedite your climb flight level 290. Millennium Golf 2377, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb and maintain flight level 210 LATAM Golf 2377.
Millennium Golf 2377, descend and maintain 13,000 feet.
There we go.
Descend and maintain 13,000 feet LATAM Golf 2377.
Millennium Golf 2377, descend and maintain 5,700 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,700 feet LATAM Golf 2377.
All it takes is a little bit of patience with this thing, and then it finally just kind of comes to its senses. There we go. I like it. All right. And then once we get a little bit closer, or once we get closer to 5,700, we'll go ahead and slow down 180 knots. Get our flaps going. So we'll take all direction from there. We won't need that open. All right. Well, some really nice scenery here. Some lakes. San Ignacio Airport. Lots of little airports here. Now, usually we know from experience that our landing speed is going to be 140 knots. So this part of the flight is pretty, unless there's a problem with the approach situation, we'll have should have a smooth sort of transition into the approach and everything. You know, we know the speeds already. Now it's just a matter of the we call it the you know, altitudes that we need to be at for a nice landing. Few low mountains here at the airport, though. I think we'll be okay, but we're gonna have to keep an eye on that as we come in. But I think we're gonna be fine. A little bit of stutter in the audio. Then we can go ahead and go to 180 and then get our first set of flaps down. Yeah, look at this kind of low very low hills on the approach here. Coming into Valencia. I'm guessing our next reduction won't be until after we get to this marker here. Which will be Adamu. Okay. Oh, there's a marker there that is not in the flight plan, but it's along the way. That we don't need to worry about. And we'll be wrapping things up as soon as we get on the ground and taxi to the gate. Slow down even further here. Once we get a little bit closer to the marker there in front of us, it should set us up nicely for our final reduction to 140 knots.
LATAM Golf 2377, contact Valencia, approach on 132.0.
Go.
Good day.
132.0 for LATAM Golf 2377. Valencia, approach LATAM Golf 2377, 5,700 feet.
LATAM Golf 2377, Valencia, approach altimeter 29.9 continue to Adamu as planned.
There we go. I think we can go ahead and go to 160. All right. Oh, man. A little sore from physical therapy yesterday. Ooh. Well, really pretty countryside here. Would have been nice to have the live weather, but whew, man, that was just insane. Now, it's interesting. Earlier it said RNAV approach. Did it say what our... No, it did not. I did pick an ILS approach, so I'm not sure why it switched to an RNAV. But either way, I think we're going to be okay for landing. If we have to land it manually, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we've gone a little bit beyond the 2.5 hours. That's kind of figured we would. Yep. I guess I guesstimated just about right that it would be closer to 3. Excuse me. Still got a tiny bit more to go. Fly here, and then we'll make that left turn in for our approach here. So. We're well above the these kind of low hills, low mountains. All right. Oh, quick reminder, and then we'll remind you again tomorrow. Stockholm to Warsaw. It might be in the A320, but it may also, it's going to be I'll make the decision later today sometime, whether it's going to be in the A320 or the 737 MAX. Try to do something a little bit different if we can tomorrow. So we shall see. Do have to write my notes for the startup procedure so that it should be a little bit easier to get through that tomorrow in the 737, since it's not a very straightforward startup like it is for here. Even with we let the co-pilot do the checklist, it's not a very it's not a sure thing, so I gotta build up or create a written checklist for myself. So there we go. That's at 5,700 still. So we should tack just a little bit to the right. Almost to the east. Oops, let's go ahead and zoom that all the way back in. There we go. And then once we make that turn, we'll to the left again. We'll drop our speed down to 140 and drop the landing gear, and we should be on the ground momentarily. I'm gonna get cleaned up and go for a little walk after this is over with. I need to go for a walk, I think. Maybe go down to the park and back just to get outside for a little bit. Look at the weather real quick. It says it's supposed to start raining. So I'll take an umbrella with me. I think it's good to get outside for a little bit after we're done. I think we can go ahead and go to 140 now. All right. Let the flight attendant, flight crew, or the cabin crew know.
2377, descend and maintain 3,800 feet.
No.
Descend and maintain 3,800 feet LATAM Golf 2377.
Ooh. All right. Oh. Oh, look at that. There's an air base. It says it said Mariscal Sucre Air Base. Huh. Interesting.
$2,500.
Should turn here in a moment towards the airport. There we go.
2377, you are 10 miles east of Valencia. Contact Valencia Tower on 121.9 when inbound on the approach.
Tower on 121.9 LATAM Golf 2377. Valencia Tower LATAM Golf 2377 9 miles east inbound RNAV Yankee runway 28 approach.
LATAM Golf 2377 Valencia Tower. Altimeter 29.902, wind 282 at tree. Cleared RNAV Yankee runway 28 approach.
I know there's an
Cleared
ILS
RNAV Yankee
approach
runway
there.
28
Oh,
approach LATAM Golf 2377.
there is an ILS approach, so I'm not sure why it's not. It may lock in here in a moment. We still got a little bit to
LATAM
go.
Golf 2377 wind 282 at tree. Cleared to land runway 28.
Cleared to land runway
Lock
28
in. We are
LATAM Golf
way
2377.
way too high. We are way too high. Way too high here. We should be at like, oh man, we should be way lower. Did it capture it? No. have a glide slope. Oh, man. Alright, well, you know what that means, folks. It's time to go do it ourselves. Oh boy, we have a lot to lose here. We are way... We should have been at 2800, 2,800 feet, not at 3,800. Yeah, we were way off our target. Boy, we are off.
100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Well, at least the speed brakes deployed automatically. Nice. Well, there we are. On behalf of myself and the
LATAM Golf 2377, turn next taxiway.
myself and First Officer Mick, we'd like to welcome you to Valencia, where the local time is 10:27 in the morning. We do appreciate you flying with us today. Mitsuara River Song, yes. Well, I normally we do use the ILS approach, but I picked an ILS approach, but for whatever reason, the system decided that I picked an RNAV, and we were way above our the altitude, I think, where we would have captured the glide slope appropriately. So yeah, we were at 3,800 feet. We should have been at 2,800 feet, and it was not capturing the ILS and all the approach information appropriately. So yeah, can I get to the taxiway there first, please and thank you? Goodness gracious. What? You know, it's like, I'll get there. Can I get off the runway first, or get to the taxiway first? So yeah, and the thing is with the RNAV, what a lot of people said in the game is it's hit and miss whether it works or not appropriately.
118.9er LATAM Golf 2377. Valencia ground LATAM Golf 2377 taxi to parking.
LATAM Golf 2377 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Bravo.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Bravo LATAM Golf 2377.
So one of the things that I learned, I don't have to be outside. I can disengage the autopilot without having to go over here. I just hit the Y button to disengage it, and then it automatically turns, you know, I have control. It doesn't try to fight me, kind of thing. And so that worked out rather well. Come on. Okay, well, that we'll wrap this up as soon as we get to the parking spot way down yonder. Do appreciate everybody coming in today and hanging out. See you all tomorrow morning, usual time. Stockholm to Warsaw. Hopefully the weather situation is dealt with between now and tomorrow. Have to keep an eye on the forums to see if Sobo or somebody acknowledges that there is the issue and it's being addressed or looked at. Maybe they just got to restart some servers or something, who knows, but at least we made the flight. We didn't throw in the towel and give up, so that's good. Yeah, once I saw that I should have gone, well, I guess I could have manually reduced the altitude to 2800. I think we would have been within the, a better spot for the landing assist, like all the systems like the RNAV and ILS to kick in. Yeah, somewhere along the way that information was not in the system where we would have heard that call from the tower to descend and maintain 2,800 feet. So we made it anyway. We landed. A little bit of a bump there at the end, but once we touched down, we did bump a little bit. But, we made it. The cool thing was, so what I did is I did arm the speed brakes, so they deployed automatically, which helped slow the aircraft down fairly quickly while we got the reverse thrust on and everything to bring us to a safe stop. Anyway, on behalf of myself and First Officer Mick, we'd like to welcome you to Valencia in Venezuela. We know that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Stream viewing choices. We are happy that you chose us. We look forward to flying with you again tomorrow from Stockholm to Warsaw. I do hope everybody has a terrific Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, or if it's already Friday morning, for all I know. Hopefully it is a good day or good night, good morning for you, whatever the case may be. Oh, looks like we got the stairs right there. So we don't have a traditional jetway. We do have the old-fashioned stairs. Let's see if we can get those to connect once we pull up to the parking spot here. Just to make things interesting, then we'll wrap up the stream. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Ugh. Just a quick reminder, if you're new to the channel, not taking route requests on here on this channel. I'm trying to try to fly, you know, of course here today we're in South America. I'm trying to find interesting routes to fly, so just to try to fly some different planes in different locations. So if you are looking specifically for your country, yeah, that's where it's going to be a hard no. So just wanted to be clear about that, because we do have some new faces every once in a while in the chat, so I just wanted to kind of let people know what the channel rules are. Eventually, I think once we get into the new year, we're going to start adding a few more things to our flight. We're going to start figuring out weights, fuel, stuff like that, so that we have I guess a little bit more of a realism added to it. We won't do the failures or anything, but just to try to, we won't always have unlimited fuel. Alright, let's see if we can get some, let's get the ramp connection.
Valencia ground, LATAM Golf 2377.
It might be the one that we've not ever had before.
LATAM Golf 2377 ramp is on its way.
Ah, look at that. Oh, we kind of went a little too far ahead.
Valencia ground, LATAM Golf 2377. Could you please send a ground power unit?
LATAM Golf 2377, a ground power unit is on the road.
Go ahead and get
Valencia
baggage
ground,
service
LATAM
going.
Golf 2377.
Ah, look
Could
at
you
that.
please send the baggage?
LATAM Golf 2377 baggage is on the way.
It's gonna connect a little bit off of the aircraft since we pulled a little too far forward, but oh, it moved over. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Now it'd be great if they had like the animation where you see if some people, a few people coming down the stairs there and all that. Anyway, that's, yeah. So Mitsuhara River Song. I apologize. I thought it said Mitsuhara. River Song. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Anyway, that's going to be it. Oh wow, it just suddenly backed up on its own. They're like, yeah, we're done. Wow. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and shut this down. We can't end the flight there. 2 hours and 36 minutes flying. We are now over 200 hours total in the sim. I think the next one is 400 or 300. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Do enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow morning